In three, two, one, let's start. So let's do our usual. Let's do some breathing. So find a position that's comfortable, relaxed, yet alert. Sit up tall with a straight back. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable, or stare softly at the ground in front of you. Let's take 3 deep breaths together. So breathe into the nose. You lengthen your spine a little more. Feel your chest expand. And then gently exhale. Feel the air as it exits your lips. You sink down further into your mat. Number 2, let's breathe into the nose. And long breath out. All right, last time with the deep breath. Let's inhale deeply and exhale softly. And then resume a normal breathing pattern as we continue to sit here and just let everything around you happen, whatever that may be for you, the noises around you, the body sensations you feel. You just notice them and just continue to let them be and come back to your breath, just sitting here. And same thing with your thoughts. If you notice anything, say, ah, yes, that's just a thought, just a sound, and then just come back to your breath. And if it helps to focus on where your breath is strongest for you, whether that's the air as it enters your nostrils or where it enters your lips, it could be your chest expanding as you breathe in, maybe your belly as you breathe out, and even be where the air hits your hands or your legs as you breathe. But just use that as your anchor point. Let's take one last deep breath together before we open up our eyes. So breathe in through the nose and hold it for a moment at the top. Let's exhale, open up our eyes, readjust to the light. I'm gonna hop off my block. Let's start with turning our torsos to the left or counterclockwise. I want you to press into your left knee with your right hand. And you really twist your spine. Since we skipped last week, it's been 2 weeks for me since I've done this. Okay, really turn your head too. Feel your neck stretch out. And then as you exhale, come back to center and then twist to the right. Okay, pushing into the ground with your right hand and into the right knee with your left. And see what's behind you. And every time you breathe out, see if you can push a little bit more. And then exhale, come back to center. And then let's get one for our side. So let's look up at the ceiling and reach both arms slowly all the way to the top. Let's start on the right. So plant the right palm on your mat. Your left arm reaches over your body towards the upper right hand corner of the room. Turn your chin look up. And feel the stretch go all the way down the left side of your body as you reach with your left arm. Let's lift the right hand up to the ceiling and then come down on the left. So that left palm is planted on the mat or the ground. The right arm constantly reaches, and the stretch goes all the way down the right side of your body. All right, give yourself one last reach with the right arm, and then lift the left hand back up to the center. Then bring your hands back to center, heart center. All right, let's do one for the inner thighs. So bring the soles of your feet together in front of you. Pull your heels in towards your soft tissue. Let the knees drop down to the ground. You can pull on your feet. Lean forward like you're trying to touch your navel to your toes, your heels. And as you breathe, pull yourself gently more forward. And then let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And as we exhale, round out your back. Roll forward with your fingers. Ooh, feel that stretch get a little bit deeper in the inner thighs. Ugh, all right, and let's sit up. Let's stand up. Let's do this nice split leg hamstring stretch. I guess this is not it. That's wide stance, toes facing forward. Okay, super wide. Legs are straight. Once again, we're reaching the arms up as we look up to the ceiling. And then exhale forward. Okay, you can plant your hands or fingertips on the ground. Push yourself toward the back of the room. And every time you breathe out, relax the body, let gravity take over. All right, let's clasp our hands behind our lower backs. Grab the fingers and then reach for the front of the room with your hands. Okay. Having a little bit of a shoulder stretch and then really letting the weight of your upper body. Uh, Hello, hamstring. All right. You can release your hands. Let's start with planting the left palm on the ground. Okay. Your left arm is straight and then reach for the ceiling with your right fingertips, opening up the chest on the right side. Turn your chin and eyes upward as well. Really push into the floor with your left palm. And then let's connect to the breath with a movement, breathing out, bring the right hand back down to the ground, planting the right palm on the ground. And do the same thing with the left side. Oh, reaching for the ceiling with your left hand, breathing. Okay, think about a vertical line with your arms. And then as you bring your left arm down to the ground, breathe out gently. Ugh. And then we're back to where we started in the beginning of the stretch. All right, let's add one for our hips. So let's rotate 90 degrees to the left until we're in a lunge. Ugh. And then let's gently drop the right knee down to the ground, bring the arms and torso up. Ugh, it's like a knee down version of crescent pose, which we'll get to later, but rotate your hips forward. You should feel the stretch on that right side. You can even lean gently to your left. And pulling on the hip from the top and the bottom. Go as far as feels good for you. Ooh. All right, that's enough for the right side. Let's plant the palms back on the mat. And come into a push-up position briefly, and then bring the right foot forward until we're in a low lunge. Right, let's drop the left knee down, arms come up. Okay, pushing the hips forward, stretching out the left hip. And every time you breathe out, see if you can push a little bit more forward, rotate a little bit more forward, whatever lets you feel the stretch in your left hip. All right, let's bring the arms and torso back down. Let's get back on the left toes. Let's bring the right foot back into a push-up position. Let's chaturanga down. Okay, let's come into a not upward dog, but a cobra. So your body's on the ground, legs are on the ground. Push the floor away, hands are underneath the shoulders. Oh, you feel the front of your body, the core. We're just here for a few breaths, stretching the front of our body. You can even turn your chin and look up and stretch the front of your neck. Kind of feel that in my spine a little bit too. Oh. All right, let's look forward and then rotate the head to the right as we look at our right foot or right heel. And then let's turn the head to the left and look at our left heel. All right. And then let's look forward and lower your torso back down to the ground. Let's come into a downward dog.
We took a slightly different path to get here than we usually do. We all know I kind of just ad hoc it, do what feels good. We're stretching out our calves. Ugh. All right, let's take our right foot and gently lift it or rest it on the left heel, focusing on just the left calf. If that's a little too much of a stretch, you can just stay in a neutral downward dog. All right, let's return the right foot down. Let's rest the left foot on the right heel, focusing on just the right calf for a few moments. Ooh. All right, let's come to neutral downward dog. Let's walk the feet towards the hands. Ooh. And then reverse swan dive until the hands are at the top. Moving the hands back to heart center. Ooh. Turn back towards the camera. Let's get some neck stretches. Let's grab our left wrist behind our back, like a chicken wing on the right, and then drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Ooh. Okay. Every time you breathe out, relax your head a little bit more. Let the stretch get as long as possible. And then rotate the head forward, noticing how the stretch moves towards the back of your neck. And let's roll the head back. Look up. Come back to neutral position. And then let's grab our right wrist behind our back as we drop our left ear to our left shoulder. I don't know about you, but this side seems like it needed more of a stretch than the other side. Ugh. And then I'm going to rotate my head back as I look up. Rotating my head forward as I look down. Okay, come back to neutral. Let's release the right wrist. Let's do a standing side stretch. So stand up nice and tall. Look up, reach both arms up. I'm trying to touch the ceiling. Let's start on the left. Dropping the left arm down to the left side, kicking out the right hip. Okay, the right arm is straight. We're reaching. We're feeling the stretch go all the way down the right side of our body. Ugh. Okay, hopefully your chin is turned up as well. Ugh. Let's return the left arm up and drop the right arm down, kicking out the left hip. Ugh. All right, give yourself one last reach with that left arm and left fingertips. And let's return the right arm up, reach to the ceiling. And then bring the hands to heart center and keep them there as we find a medium width stance with our feet facing, I don't know, 45 degrees out. And let's do Malasana. So keeping the head and chest up. We're going to lower ourselves down the mat. Okay, nice and controlled. Go as far as you can, as far as feels comfortable. And as always, every time you breathe out, so you can get a little bit lower. Maybe bring those knees towards the back of the room. Let's hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hands on the legs as we come out of it. Oh, all right. Now we're gonna do a split leg hamstring stretch. So face the short side of your mat. I'm gonna start with my left leg in front. Heels are in line. That front leg is straight. Arms reach up to the ceiling. And let's swan dive over the straight left leg. We're gonna drive the right hip towards the front ankle. Ooh. See if I can touch your nose to your left knee. Ooh, only just. All right, let's bend the left knee and come on up and switch legs. The right foot is in front, or left, the right leg is in front. I guess left, right foot too. Anyhow, heels are in line, arms reach up to start, and then we're gently breathing out as we swan dive down over the straight right leg. And opposite the other side, drive the left hip towards the front ankle. Try to touch your nose to your knee. All right. To come out, bend the right knee and then come on up. Oh, what else can we do? Let's do shoulders and triceps before we do more moving options. So left arm across the top of my chest. All right, then switch arms. Right arm across the top of your chest. And you can release that right arm. Let's get the left arm behind our heads, pulling on the left elbow. Maybe get your head out of the way to get a little bit more of a stretch on the left tricep. And we'll switch arms, right arm behind the head. Let's release that. And let's come to the front of our mats. Okay, feet, legs together, set up nice and tall. Let's do 2 warm-up swan dives as we bring our arms up, look through your hands at the ceiling, and exhale as you swan dive down. Up to flat back. And breathe out, round out your back, and then eyes up, reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And swan dive down a second time. Up to flat back. Exhaling, rounding out the back, reaching a little bit closer to the ground, and then reverse swan dive. And then we're gonna swan dive down. Okay. Third time up to flat back, resting the hands on the knees with shins. And as you breathe out here, round out your back and plant both palms on the mat, step back into plank. Let's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Okay, you're on the tops of the feet and the palms of your hands. Oof. Okay, back to plank. Give me a push up here if you like. And into our second downward dog of the day. Normally I say first downward dog. We're gonna do a quick bicycle of the legs, bend the left knee. And since we did this earlier, we'll do 1 set. So switching sides, bending the right knee, driving the left heel down. Okay, neutral downward dog. Let's bring the feet together. Let's do a crescent pose, but
before we do, let's float the right leg up into the air as high as you can. And swing your right leg through and plant it in front. And bring the arms and torso up for crescent pose. Okay, palms are facing one another, arms are parallel. That left heel is reaching for the mat. The right knee is hopefully tracking over the right ankle. And then we're going to bring the hands to heart center and transition into prayer twist. Left elbow is pressed into the right knee. Hands are stacked. You could look up, great. Maybe you're just looking at the side, also good. Continue to breathe as we hold the pose. We'll come out in 3, 2, 1. Return the hands, crescent pose up top. And then exhale the arms and torso back down. Plant both palms. Right heel comes back to plank. Let's chaturanga down into an upward dog. And through a sun salutation back to plank, and then walk the feet towards the hands. And reverse swan dive. And then swan dive back down. Up to flat back. Okay, exhale, round at the back, plant both palms, stepping back into plank. And that's chaturanga down to an upward dog. Back to plank, push up here and into downward dog. And let's do a crescent pose on the left. So feet and legs together. Float the left heel up into the air. And swinging your left leg forward and plant it in front. Bring the arms and torso up. Take off this sweater. But you're reaching both arms up to the ceiling. Okay, right leg is straight, right heel is reaching for the mat. The arms reach up to the ceiling. And let's bring the palms together at heart center and transition to prayer twist on the left side. So right elbow is pressed into the left knee or left quad. I guess it's more a quad than it is a knee. I'm just thinking my elbow is pressed into my knee. That might be painful. But we're breathing. We're praying, twisting. Let's return to crescent pose. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. And then exhale the arms back down. Plant both palms. Left leg goes back to plank. And let's chaturanga down. Door upward dog. Back to plank, sun salutation. So walk the feet towards the hands and reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And then swan dive back down. Up to flat back. Exhale, rounding the back plank and go palm. Let's step back into plank and chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. As plank, push up here if you like. Into downward dog, shoulders cracking. Means that we're working, not working anymore. All right, let's do our warrior sequence. We're back on the right. Bring your feet together. Below the right leg up into the air. Let's do a knee to nose. So bring your knee to your nose. And turn the right leg up. One more time, knee to nose. Turn the right leg up into the air. And then for a third time, swing the right leg forward and plant it in front. And then as your arms come up, that left heel comes down for warrior one. Settle in. Okay. Right knee is cracking over the right ankle. Let's go to warrior two, arms front and back, palms facing the ground, arms parallel with the ground, eyes facing forward. Let's dip back into reverse warrior, reaching for the back of the room with those right fingertips. Left hand is resting gently on the left leg. And then back to warrior two. Getting ready for triangle pose. So reach forward with your right fingertips. Okay, I'm still going forward, and I can reach when I can reach no more. Right palm or right fingertips come to the ground. Left fingertips reach up. I'm turning the chin and eyes upwards, mentally prepping ourselves for the pretzel. All right, let's drop that left arm behind your lower back. Right arm reaches underneath your right leg. Once you're grabbing fingertips, grabbing hands, grabbing wrists, see if you can rotate that left shoulder and open it up just a little bit more. And continue to breathe. Come out in 3, 2, 1. Hands release. Left fingertips are back up top. And then we'll pop back up into warrior two. Okay, right quad's on fire. Stay with me. Let's dip back into reverse warrior. Okay, back to warrior two. Left arm swings forward up for warrior one. And then as the arms come down, that left heel comes up. Plant both palms. Right leg comes back to the plank. Let's chaturanga back down to our upward dog. Back to plank, walk the feet forward for our sun salutation and reverse swan dive. Hands are at the top. And swan dive down. Up to flat back. Exhaling the hands back down to the mat, stepping back into plank. And let's chaturanga down to our upward dog. Back to plank, push up here if you're still with me. Returning to downward dog. We're going to copy and paste for the left side. Remember, we're in the knee to nose variation too. So feet together, float the left heel up into the air. Then bring your knee to your nose, or as close as you can. Float that left leg back up. And then go knee to nose. Last time up into the air. And then swing your left foot forward and come into warrior one on the left. Okay, settle in. Get as low as feels comfortable, but still feeling strong. Then arms front and back for warrior two. Settle with the breath. And let's dip back into reverse warrior. Really reach for the back of the room with those left fingertips. Okay, come back into warrior two. With those left fingertips and left hand, reach forward slowly. Keep going, go as far as you can. And then drop that left hand or left fingertips down to the ground as the right fingertips reach up to the ceiling. You can rotate that right shoulder and open up your chest. And then let's drop the right arm behind your lower back. The left arm reaches underneath that left leg. We're grabbing palms, opening up our right shoulder. Sorry, I forgot what the shoulder was called for a second there. But we're turning the gaze upward. We're breathing. We'll exit in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left palm is on the mat, right fingertips reach up. And then let's hop back up into warrior two. Ooh. Now let's dip back into reverse warrior. Careful not to put too much weight on that right leg. Back to warrior two. Swing that right arm forward and up for warrior one. And let's bring the arms and torso back down as that right heel comes up. Plant both palms. Left leg comes back. And chaturanga down. Do an upward dog. Back to plank. Walk the feet towards the hands for a sun salutation. Reverse swan dive. To the hands at the top. And then bring the hands to heart center and bend at the knees. Bring your feet together and come into chair pose. Ooh. So palms should be facing one another. Arms are straight. See how low you can go. Ooh. All right, let's slowly straighten up our bodies. Bring the heels up and off the mat. Reach for the ceiling. Okay, see how those calves feel as we're balancing on our toes. Settling with the breath. Give yourself one long exhale as you bring your heels back down to the mat. Hands come to heart center, and let's do twisting chair pose to the left. So the right elbow is resting on that left leg. We're bending at the knees, seeing how low you can go while not falling over. Okay, settle with your breath. Find your balance. Then we'll come back to center and then straighten our torsos back up. Reach for the ceiling. Okay, heels are up and off the mat as high as your legs can support you. Settling with the breath here as well. And then exhale the heels back down to the ground. Hands come back to heart center. Let's do twisting chair pose to the right to even this all out. Bend at the knees. See how low you can go with your hips or your bottom, depending on how you want to see it. All right, going back to center, and for the third and final time, let's straighten up our bodies, reach for the ceiling. We're back on our toes. Settling with breath. Let's take a deep breath into the nose. And then exhale the heel back down, hands come to heart center. I'm gonna turn towards the camera now. Let's do tree. So let's get your right foot into position, balancing on the left foot and the left leg. Yeah, add the arms wherever feels good for you, whatever helps you find your balance. See how tall you can, or how straight your body can feel. Find the balance. And let's do a slow 10 count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, and 10. Release that right foot. Shake out the left ankle. And switch sides. So we're balancing on the right foot, right leg. Get the left foot into position. Okay, once again, adding the arms and hands to find your center. Remember to breathe. Sometimes I realize I'm holding my breath. Oof. Let's repeat that slow 10 count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Let's release the left foot. Let's have a seat finally. Oh, groaning as we get there. Let's do our classic table. I love a good table. All right, soles of the feet in front, palms behind, and then prop yourself up, push your hips up towards the ceiling, drop the head back. Ugh. Really just relax here. Your arms are straight. And it's an active push. Okay, once you're there, don't just sit at the top. See if you can get a couple more millimeters, maybe half a millimeter out of those hips. And then long exhale as we slowly lower ourselves back down to the mat. Let's lie down on our backs. Ugh. Ugh. Let's do a nice glute bridge, shall we? So hands can either be resting at your sides or clasped underneath you. As you rotate onto your shoulders. Okay, same thing. Push those hips up. Settle with your breath. Let's do a one leg variation this week, and we'll do it on both sides. So, if you can, lift the left or straighten out the left leg, balancing on just the right. Hello, right glute. Woo. Okay, balancing while still pushing your hips up. And let's return the left foot down to the mat. Let's do the right leg as well. So what we can do, extending out the right leg as we balance on the left foot. We're pushing our hips up, and that left glute is working. Let's gently return the right foot down. Okay, now we're into the neutral position. And then controlling the descent one vertebra at a time. Coming down slowly. Ooh, very nice. Until we're all the way down. Okay, let's stretch our glutes down. So keeping the left foot planted, bring your right ankle onto your left quad or left knee, and grab the left shin. Oh, ready for this one. 3 long breaths. I'll call it out as usual. And every time you breathe out, breathe into that glute. Let the stretch do its thing. So breathe into the nose and out through the mouth. Okay. Number 2, let's breathe into the nose and out to the mouth. Last time for this side, breathe in. And as you exhale, think about that right glute stretching out. Let's release that left leg, plant the right foot back down. Left leg gets into position. And we're grabbing and reaching for the right shin. And we're going to breathe in deeply. One. And exhale slowly. Oh. And then number two, let's breathe into the nose and out to the mouth. And last time here, breathe in. And then control the breath out. Ooh. We're going to release that right shin down. We're going to hug the left knee in towards our chest. Oh, that was weird. Let's pull our left knee over to the right side of our body. Left arm extends out to the left. We're turning our spines, rotating our spines, I should say. Rotate feels like a safer word. Well, we're looking out to the left. And once again, every time you breathe out, relax your body. And see if you can rotate that last little degree, releasing any tension your spine might have, really your whole body might have. Let's bring that left leg back to center. Ooh. Let's hug the right knee in, right leg in towards our chest. Okay, let's pull the right leg over to the left side of our body. Right arm extends out to the right, twisting our spine in the opposite direction. Give yourself one last long exhale before you bring your right leg back to center. We're going to stand our backs for a happy baby. So legs come up in the air. We're going to grab the outside parts of our feet and gently pull on our feet, pulling our knees in towards our underarms. The inner thighs make a comeback. And then rock side to side. Doesn't need to be fast, doesn't need to be far. Just think about your spine against your mat as you oscillate back and forth. Ooh. All right, then using the weight of your legs, sit on up. Oh, as we get ready for a cat cow. I'm gonna roll up my mat a few times for my knees as I get on all fours. Okay, untuck the toes, untuck the feet, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. Let's breathe in as we bring our head up. And then exhale as we bring our head down. Okay, reach for the ceiling with that spine rounded out. Okay, inhale, head up. Exhale, head back down. Inhale, head up. That's 3. Exhale, head back down. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. We have one more. Okay. Inhale, head up. Bring your chest down to the ground. This last one, really pushing the floor with the hands. And we'll come into a neutral spine.
And unravel your mat if you raveled it up. We're going to do a pigeon. So come into a push up or a plank position momentarily, and then bring your right foot forward or right leg forward. So your right shin is 90 degrees from the rest of your body. And then just rotating, finding that position where the stretch feels best for you in that hip and glute. Just go as low as you can. Ooh. Every time you breathe out, just like all the other poses, relax the body, let the stretch really take over. Okay, let's plant the palms in front and push the torso up. Let's add a quad stretch. So reaching back behind us with a left hand, pull the left heel in. Okay. Feel the left quad. Ooh, wow. We're gonna do a really slow 10 count for the quads. I definitely need this one. So we're gonna say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm gonna release my left foot. Plant both palms in front. Right leg comes back to plank. Left leg comes forward. Okay. Finding that position that works for me. All right, once again, we're going to plant the palms in front, then reach back behind us with the right hand. Ooh, feeling that right quad stretch out now. We're going to repeat that slow 10 count. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Releasing the right foot. Let's get off the left leg. Let's center our heel. Okay, knees as wide as your mat. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, come forward down onto your mat for a child's pose. Forearms on the mat and forehead on the mat. Relax the whole body. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable. And thank your body for everything it does, everything it has done. Take a few slow breaths for yourself here. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose As you exhale, come forward out of child's pose and rotate onto your back for corpse pose. We're lying down on our backs, legs relaxed on the mat, arms at your sides, eyes are closed. And just do a body scan. See how yours feels this week, today. Hopefully, it feels a little bit more stretched out and loose than when we started this morning. I'm just going to lie here and breathe, continue that body scan, and I don't say anything for 60 seconds, starting 3, 2, 1. Let's take one more deep breath into the nose. And as you exhale, reach your arms up, point the toes at the bottom. Now's the time for a morning stretch, as if you're still in bed. You're going to get one more stretch before you have to get up and start the day. Think of it like that. We arch your back. Ooh. And then rotate onto your side. Rest your head and face on your hand. Settle with the breath once again. Take a moment here. And whichever arm is on top, plant that palm on the floor and push yourself up. Back into cross-legged position. Back to where we started today. All right. So spine is nice and tall. Plug the crown of your head into the ceiling or up towards the ceiling. Let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right, number 2, let's breathe in through the nose and breathe out with some sound. All right, last one. Let's breathe into the nose and breathe out with some sound. Let's bring our hands to heart center. You may repeat after me if you wish. May you have clear and kind intention. Let's raise our hands to our foreheads. May you have clear and kind thoughts. Let's bring our hands to our lips. May you have clear and kind communications. And then returning our hands to our hearts. And as always, the light in me celebrates and honors the light in you. Namaste, my friend.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's have a good week.
Thank you. You too.
Hopefully less hot.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be. Yeah, thank goodness.
We will find out in
We
T
will.
minus 1 hour.
All right.
All righty. See you, Risa.
Take care. All right. Bye-bye.